If you're seeing this, you're watching the playback. We'll give it a moment. Let me make sure everything is looking good over there in the screen. Yes, it seems to be moving at a good speed. Excellent. Okay. Okay. All right. We are going to do dark Cupid nails with these water decals from Enchanted Goth Decals. They're very cute. I want to do something with them, so that's why we're doing that. I have picked out an assortment of decor also. I haven't fully decided how we're going to lay those out, but we're going to use them. And then these are going to be our 2 polishes that we're going to use. We're going to do the glass bead thing. So I'm going to scoot this up here so I can be like, that's not the finger we're going to do it on though. We're going to do it on this one for sure. I'm trying to decide if I want this one to be white. I think so. So we might as well do something over here too. Suppose that might as well be a bead too, right? Why wouldn't it be? Ah, if I put my hand here, I can read the top of the thing. It says there's one person in here. That's cool. Hello. Hello, who is it? Say hi. Scoot that out the way because I don't need it right now. Let's get our paint going. I have already put down my peel off base coat. I do that on every nail set because I have to change them so often. I have to do these nails tonight as well as a set for a video. And I had something completely different on earlier. So I'm going to spin this while I count to about 40. Okay, let's have a look. Oh yeah, it's doing its thing. I did get it up pretty high, but that's all right. We're definitely gonna have to do 2 coats because like that is straight up transparent and I don't really want it to be, but that looks good. I like it. Let's do this one. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Welcome in. If you just got here, we're doing dark Cupid nails with water decals and with charms. There's probably going to be some rhinestones. We got some magnetic polish, some pearly polish. We got all kinds of stuff going on here. But not a single thing here is gel. This is all regular polish. So if you don't use gel, you can still do all these fun things. Hi, lounge flying around with Amber. Hello, Amber. Hi, Brittany. Brittany, is it Brittany K. Limstra? Welcome. Thanks for coming, guys. We're going to hang out and do some cool nails. I like to spin this for an imaginary 40 seconds. It's more like for 40 Mississippis typically, but sometimes I forget to count, like now. You just want to kind of do it long enough that the polish has time to start drying, so it gets those pigments to set a little bit. And then we'll stick it in the nail dryer too. I should have put the pinky in already for 30 seconds, but I forgot. And we are going to do second coats. Yeah, that looks great. I don't know if this one's wet enough to tighten it up, but let's just give it a little bit of time in there and see what happens. It helps a little. I'm going to stick this in the dryer for 30 seconds and then we'll do the second coat. Depending on how sheer it is after the second coat, we might do a third, because I would really like it to be opaque, but we will see. You can see over here in the corner, these are the water decals that we're going to use. They're super, super cute. And then over there is a tray of like charms and things. This is what I use to adhere them. And it's air dry. It's great. All right, let's do another coat. That takes a moment to kick off. So what's everyone up to this evening? Is anybody else painting their nails? Or y'all just chilling? What you got going on? All right, let me not forget to count. All right. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to stick it in the dryer for a moment. You know, when I picked this polish, I picked it because the magnetic particles were giving a bit of a red, but now they look very much orange. So I think maybe the lighting is the difference. Because really, this decal's got a little bit of red bits, and so I'm trying to bring it all together. We're gonna see how it turns out. All right, let's do our index. And then we'll give that one about 40 Mississippis. Okay. All right. We'll dry that one. They're definitely going to need a third coat. But I think before I put the third coat on, we're going to do the other nails so that those layers can just get more dry time. And then hopefully that will help. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I see some folks have come in. I don't know who they are, but I can see the numbers change. we're just getting our base colors put down, and then we'll start the nail art part. I think the most time-consuming part is really going to just be putting on the decorations, because I don't have them planned out on how I want them. I'm just going to kind of look at it and stick them on there as the spirits whisper. Hey Maria, welcome. Glad to see ya. We're just doing a little painty paint. I've got 2 coats of this on here. We're going to put some of this on these other nails. And then we're going to do some more of that magnetic, because it really just, it's a little bit too sheer for what I'm trying to do here. I picked this one because it's got a blue shimmer. It would look really cool on top of a black, but we're putting water decals over this, and so it needs to be light and part of the vibe. This brush is fat. Look at it. Why is it so bloated? I don't think it started out that way. I'm having to barely push down because that thing will spread with it being as wide as it is. Get off some of that extra polish. Goodness gracious. So if you'll notice on this nail, there's a dark area there. That's because it's ink. So I was doing alcohol inks yesterday, and I flooded my cuticles trying to get them to blend. And then also, like, my pink ink, I just completely kept knocking it over all over my mat, which made a mess. And I have splatters of ink everywhere. I tell you, I don't know how to do that stuff cleanly. Thanks, Maria. I think these are going to come out really great. If you saw any of my shorts with the red Cupid nails, I'm going for kind of that same aesthetic, but dark. So let's dry these. And I had 3 water decals on that hand. I'm going to only have 2 on this one because we're going to do more chunky bits. You know I love chunky nail art. Yes, great reminder. Thank you for letting them know. Definitely, guys, hit the like button. The algorithm thanks you, and so do I. And if you're not subscribed, definitely consider subscribing. I do cool stuff sometimes, and I have a gazillion videos about all kinds of nail stuff. So chances are the stuff you like is in there. Let's do another coat. And also invite your friends to subscribe, because I am trying to get to 10,000 so we can have a giveaway. I have so much stuff to share with you guys, but we got to get to that 10K, and we're almost there. I believe when I looked earlier, we were just a few people shy from 9,900, which once we get to that, we'll only be 100 people away from that 10K. So I think we can get it done pretty soon if we get a little bit of teamwork, making the dream work. Hey Jess, welcome. Thanks for coming. We're still working on the painting part. We're just getting started. Once these come out, we're gonna do the next coat of the magnetics. We've got 2 coats on each finger so far, but these are both pretty sheer polishes, so we're gonna do a 3rd. And then if it's any sheer after that, then it is what it is. It's part of the design. What have you guys got going this weekend? I'm spending my weekend just work, work, work. I was in the streets all day working. I'm working on a little short of, going through my day or whatever. But this is part of it. So, like, I have to get this done because I need the nails before I can even finish it. So, I still have a lot of work to do tonight. You're doing them? Spooky Valentine. Love it. I do love it. I thought about doing these to be my Valentine's nails, but I was like, no, because I want to do these in a live stream. So I've got a different thing planned for my Valentine's nail video, and that's what I'm going to record after I do this. It's not spooky, but it's cute. All right, let's do this one. Let me get this over here where I can reach it. So tell us about the design. What's the spooky part? Is it vampires? Because I know vampires are very romantic. New ones? Welcome, Hadley. It's hard for you to do nails. It takes practice. I don't do gel. I do regular nail polish. Ghosties in schools. I feel you. There you go. I feel like I saw those. I had to have because that sounds very familiar. We all sucked at nails at one point. I was just looking at my very beginner nails the other day when I first started painting my nails, which was just a few years ago. And like there was paint all over my hands. It was so bad. But I also just do regular. Like you can do a lot of stuff with regular polish. Everything we're about to do in this live stream is regular nail polish. Not a stitch of gel. You don't have to do it. Like gel has its benefits, but it also has its drawbacks. I love regular polish. I don't have a business. I'm just a nail girly and a YouTuber, and I have all the associated social medias. I've got a million videos. Like if you look at my actual channel, I know there's over 1,000 videos. Some of it's gel and acrylic, but most of it's nail polish. I honestly would not know what to have a business of, but also I got so many jobs. I don't have time to be trying to run a business too, and I'm not a nail tech. I am a nail addict. I do this because I'm obsessed. If I ever become a well-known nail YouTuber, then I would be interested in having a nail polish brand. Like I could be the next Simply Nailogical. That would be pretty cool, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm just gonna keep doing this because I love it, and if it turns into something, then cool, and if it don't, I can still continue to love it. That's the plan. Well, I mean, it's not giving up because I'm doing exactly what I've been doing. I'm trying to live my best life and have fun while I'm doing it. Businesses are a lot of work and a lot of responsibility, and I already have a lot of both. It's not a dream of mine to have a business, and to have a business just for no reason, just to have one, that doesn't sound appealing. It would have to be something that speaks to my heart. But there would be so much I would have to sacrifice. Oh, you sent me a gift. Thank you. I appreciate that. What my dream would be to do YouTube full time. Like if I didn't have to have a regular day job and then all these side jobs, and I could just do YouTube but make enough money from it to, you know, pay for my life, that would be great. Because then I feel like I could spend all my time doing the thing that I love to do anyway, and I'm already doing it, but I could put more time and effort into it because I wouldn't have to spend 2/3 of my life at work. I'm already trying to figure out how to stop sleeping because it takes too much time. It is. Do you have a channel? I've been doing this channel for years already. Let's put this in here. I'm going to put that away. And when that one comes out, we'll do another coat of the white, and then we'll get those sealed in so we can do some art. Hey, Chetta, welcome. Nice to see you. We're doing some dark Cupid nail art. Once we get all the paint on, of course. And rambling. You know how much I love to do that. Here's what we've got so far. I'm just about to put another coat of this on. I've been waiting so many days to do these nails because I ran out of this, so I had to order some more, and it finally came today. And I was like, Hank, yeah, so I get to do these nails. I have a lot of other stuff on my list, but I've been waiting for these, and 'tis the season. So we're doing it today. And I wanted to do it in a live because it's art intensive, and I feel like that's fun. There we go. Thank you. I like this. I don't use these ghostly colors enough, I think. I usually use them for nail art because I use them to color in ghosts. But I do really like them as backgrounds because it's like a glow. I know this looks really pretty over a black. It brings out the blue shimmer that's in here. I don't even know if I can show it to you because I don't know what angle to hold it at. There we go. But because these decals are like this wispy blue and silver, that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. And using a light background is going to mean I don't need to paint in the back of those decals because otherwise I would have to. Let me stick this in here so those can get to drying. My Seche Vive, my favorite top coat. If you need a thick and juicy nail polish top coat, this is my favorite. I buy it in this bottle and just keep filling the little one up because I use a lot of it. Since I do all this cool nail art, you have to do a lot of top coats. Hadley, do you have a YouTube channel? Made you. Hey, this is good stuff. You see how helpful this has turned out to be. I've got ink all in mine now from when I was doing alcohol inks yesterday. I made a terrible mess. I'm holding my hand weird so I can dry my thumb. Yes, girl. All right. Let's get these sealed in. Please turn off. so you don't crust all over the neck of my bottle. I am going to do these 2 magnetic ones first, that way I can stick them back in the dryer, because I did not do a layer of aqua topper. Hopefully, if we get them in the dryer fast enough, it will be fine. But they're going to be underneath other art, so I think it'll be okay. Let's get that to dry up a bit before they disperse too much. Thank you. Oh, Maria, you found her channel. Awesome. I'm going to have to go check her out and see what she does. I just wanna go to regular YouTube so I can search. Yeah, I definitely didn't type that right. Oh, I can do it this way. Nope, that's not right. Okay. Ugh. Sorry, I'm over here trying to do things, and I'm terrible at it. There we go, I found you. We'll give you a little subscribey. There you go. Hads. Alright, I saw somebody came in. Not mad at Roblox. Is that right? Am I right? You're not mad at Roblox? I know what a Roblox is, very loosely. Hey, Delvin. Didn't expect to see you here. Welcome. We're doing dark Cupid nails with some magnetic polish and some pearly polish and some decorations and decals and all the things. They're going to be so cute. I need to refill this bottle. How many times am I going to say that? Except every time I say it, it's true because I keep using it. There we go. You can always wipe your underside if you get it on there kind of thick. Spark bracelets. Hi, welcome. Thanks for coming. We're doing some fun stuff. We're going to make some cute nails. Do you like cute nails? Because I sure do. I'm obsessed with cute nails. Yeah. All right, let's try those. Awesome, awesome. Me too. I spend most of my free time, which is not much time, watching nail videos. That's how I got here. I fell down the rabbit hole of YouTube. God. I hate recording with this recording. I hate using this phone that I'm using for the live stream because the camera's weird and it does this thing, but I don't like to use my phone because then I can't use my phone. So sorry if it does a little I'm trying to focus situation. But yes, as I was saying, about the beginning times of COVID, you know, when everybody had a lot of free time on their plate, I found Nail YouTube and I started watching it and I was like, this is great. And then I was like, if I love watching people paint their nails, I bet other people would love to watch me paint my nails. And so I just started doing that. And then now suddenly it's years later and here we are. That's how it happens. I don't do gel. I do regular nail polish. I have some gel polish that mostly I got from PR though. I don't prefer gel. I have a gel allergy and I don't really like how thick it is. Nail polish, when it dries, it gets very thin and I like that. And I'm not allergic to it, which is awesome. Now, I still do use some gel products. So like obviously I wear gel extensions and it's an interesting thing because I'm only allergic to the polish, like the paint, the colors, but the builder products, totally fine. And I don't know why. I went to get a gel allergy test one time, but they're $600 and I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. People typically do prefer gel because you get more forgiveness. So like if you make a mistake, you can fix it. With nail polish, that's not the case. You get one shot to do it right or you're starting over most of the time. Now, if you get particularly good at it and you're particularly careful, sometimes you can fix small mistakes, but for the most part, you're starting over. So it does take a pretty intense skill level to do art with regular nail polish, and I am horrible at hand painting, but I am not horrible at cheating. Look, I indented that. See what I'm talking about? That's annoying. If you lick your finger though, you can touch them. Smooth that out a little bit. There we go. That is definitely gonna need more time because it's kind of thick. Nail stamping, my favorite. These awesome water decals, excellent. So like there are things. You can still make really cool nail art. You just got to use the resources you have available to you. Yep, this is all regular polish. This is very pretty. I like it, but we need to put these on some stampers. So let's get a couple of those out. This is how I like to apply mine. Some other people apply them differently. It really doesn't matter the method that you use. Use whichever one works best for you. These are from Enchanted Goth Decals. Let me show you the sheets. They're so pretty. She's got a gazillion. Check out our website. Very, very beautiful. I have quite a few. I've done a lot of sets with them recently because it's a brand new brand. But I've already put in 3 orders because I like them so much. Anywho, let's get these wet. So you just get some water on your cleanup brush, which I opened a brand new cleanup brush because my other one was quite frayed and frazzled. You need to replace them from time to time because acetone destroys your brushes. I go through a lot of these also. Look at the condition of this one because I sit it down and it'll roll over into my little paint piles. Which I need to get out a little Post-it to put my puddles on. I stick that to my mat over here. All right. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I don't eat McDonald's. I don't know why I like singing that. All right, let's see if this is ready to slide off. It is, yeah. So if you put these on top of a light color, which is why I chose the ones that I did, then you don't have to paint them in. But you can see they're transparent. If you're going to put this on top of anything other than a pretty much white, you'll want to just take a white polish and just paint over the back of the design so that when you stick it on there, it's still a color. Otherwise, like you see, it'll just kind of vanish. So you want to be able to see it. Hey, Shells, thanks. Thanks for coming. It's all right if you're late. We're still just getting started. We've only got paint on as far as we made it. We're chilling. And I just dab off the excess with my finger. And that can sit to dry for a second. You want those to be dry before you apply them. This is sticky base coat. You can use whatever kind of sticky base coat you like. I like this one because it's cheap and you can get it on Amazon in a giant bottle. So, yeah. Gothic Girl 606. It's dark Cupid. Let me show you. You might have missed it. So these are the decal sheets. Those are the Cupids. And then these are the lovers. As you can see, one of them is spoopy. It is Halloween in my heart all year round. So if I have the opportunity to spookify something, yes, I'm going to. I had some other Cupid nails on recently that were red. They weren't as spooky, but they were still really cool. They were very fae-like, I suppose. Yeah, let's get these on here. You put in a thin coat and then wait about 30 seconds or 30 Mississippis. You know, that's how we measure things. For it to get kind of tacky. And then it'll be ready to stick it on. I need to stop banging into this one. You don't want to get all of your nails base coated and ready at the same time because they're going to dry. And if it dries too much, it's not going to stick. So I'm going to wait until I get those other ones on before I do this one. You can see over here, I got quite a bit more polish on this edge. It's like pulled up because I was doing this in the lamp. So that's a thing that still happens. But whatever, we'll live with it. What y'all talking about? Oh, I didn't even know you were doing one last night until I got back home. I was out to a birthday dinner and we was there forever. And then I had missed so much. I was like, oh goodness. Let's see here. All right, this is getting sticky. All right, now we need to look at this so that we can position them the right way because I want the Cupid to be pointing at her. So she needs to be on this side and he needs to be on that side. So this one is going to go on this nail. And I'm going to try not to bang everything together. Let's see here. Roll it gently. There we go. Then you just want to go and push it down. And then I'll let this hang out for a minute because I want to get that other one applied. We're going to smooth it and then we're going to trim off these edges because we don't need those. Ye old curvy nails don't like to lay down that much. Ew. That polish must have been very thick because like it's got prints all in it. That's nasty. It's pushing everywhere. Okay. We should have dried it longer. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm looking down this so you can't see it as well. But I just want to get it kind of centered if I can. I'm going to try. There we go. There we go. That looks good, right? I think so. Smooth that down. And close these up because I don't need them anymore for this nail design. Get my little bitty scissors. I'm just going to trim off this excess. So like some water decals, you can easily melt the edges, but for whatever reason, the structure of these is a lot more sturdy and they are resistant to acetone. So I like to cut off as much as I can. That way I leave myself less work for when it's time to melt. Sorry, my head is underneath the camera, so I cannot see the chat right this second. Trying to see what I'm doing. There we go. That's good enough. The rest of it we can melt. So I'm going to take my cleanup brush, dip it in acetone, gently dab it off on a paper towel, and then we're just going to kind of go on the edges of this and push it all up. Do a little bit of a rubby rub under the edges, not on the sides. You'll tap that with your finger. That way we have cleanness under here. Lauren's Lengths, welcome. Hello. How are you? We're doing some nails. Are you a long nail girly? Is that what your name is about? I'm a long nail girly within reason. I'm not like them super long nails. I can't function. I do too much typing. But they're pretty. I'm just trying to make sure that it's as smooth as possible. So when we top coat all that in, that's going to help with any of the wrinkles or lumpiness or whatever that you may end up with. But I do try to get it as smooth as possible ahead of time. Let's get this melty melt. If you guys have not seen Enchanted Goth decals, definitely check them out. They have the social medias as well as a website, and you can use it on top of gel or nail polish because it's just nail art, and you can do that on whatever you want to. Yeah, paint is thick. It's okay though. I like to do a roll. Don't rub them because that's how you slide things. And I recently learned that some application methods of your water decals can end up causing them to crack. That doesn't happen with the way that I do it, but be careful with them. Delvin, you're a liar. I have offered you nail art, and you won't take it. Y'all don't listen to him. He lies. He don't want no nail art. Okay, I think that looks good. I'm going to put some aqua topper on these water decals, and then we're going to dry them. That way, when we put our top on, we don't break them. The risk is when your regular top coat dries, it shrinks. And that can cause the decals to stretch and crack. Same thing happens with stickers and transfer foils. So Maniology Aqua Topper is a godsend. You can cover all kinds of nail art with it, and it will protect it. It's not a problem with gel, but with nail polish, it is. So let's put that in the dryer. ADHD does nails. Hello, welcome. I love hair and nails. I'm the only one in my house who can do any hair, and I think that's not fair to me. I think they need to learn to do some hair so that they can do my hair, because it's hard to do your own hair. Let us know if you have nail pages, if you guys do nail videos for YouTube, so that we can subscribe. Definitely make sure that you're hitting my subscribe button. Check out the cool stuff I do. I've got a ton of it. And also be so kind as to hit the heart, the like, the algorithm thanks you, and so do I. Oh, I got you. I did that too. I accidentally went into a live stream with my other YouTube channel because I didn't realize I was still logged into that one. And everybody was so confused. And then I switched over and I was like, oh no, it's still me. Yeah, so if you guys don't know, I do have another YouTube channel. It's called Megan Makes It. It's MEGAN MAXIT, and I do not nail stuff over there. Sometimes it's a little bit of hair, sometimes it's makeup, sometimes it's food, sometimes it's money. It's just, it's whatever. And a lot of times it's just pictures of me. I'm working on a short for posting over there about all the things I've done today, but I've got to get this and the video that I have to record after this done, because I'm doing a nail transition in the video. So I'm like, I gotta get it done. Alright, that's had a moment. Let's top coat her in. I really need to put some more in here. There we go. Wipe that underneath. There we go. That's looking good and juicy. You like some juicy nail art? I sure do. Cute. I'm gonna stick that back in here. We're gonna get that to dry a little bit. And then we get to start working on the decorations, because those are the only decals. Let me bring this over and not spill it. So I've got this little tray of items out that I can choose from. And then I've got some, like, what do they call these? It's like a half a pearl but metal. There's a word for these. It's like rivet or something. I have those, and then I've got, you know, some caviar beads. And then we've got the silver rhinestones. So that's what I think I want to use for my little decoration bits. And then I'm going to put it all on with 4 rhinestones only. Studs. There we go. There. That word has been escaping me for so long. You know, sometimes the brain farts are terrible. One time, I distinctly remember, I felt so stupid. I was trying to remember the word crib, like where your baby sleeps, but I couldn't. And so I'm like, you know, the cage you put your baby in? Obviously, everybody knows what I'm talking about. Thank you, Shells. I picked these colors out because I'm trying to make it be cohesive. We're doing like a blue-silver theme. But there's a little bit of red because my Cupid has a little bit of red. So I'm like, I'm just going to incorporate just a sprinkling for the loves. All right, let's touch these. Just want to make sure that they are dry enough that they can survive while I do the other things. I am a bit of a mess. There's some roguish polish that has gotten where I don't want it. That's okay. I mean, I can clean it up later, but ew, it feels weird. There we go. So I like to start on the outer and work my way in. So we're going to do this guy first. We got to plot a design. You know, these beings probably could have benefited from being colored in with a skin color if you wanted, because like they are eerie because that blue shimmer is there because it's a clear part of the decal. They do look ethereal. Not that I mind, but if you wanted to, you could color them in. I would hate to get it on the skull guy though. Yeah. So when I picked this, I thought this was more red, but it's kind of orange. That's okay though. So we need to pick a design. I got a couple of little heart charms out because I would like to use them. They don't have to be on this nail because we do have this whole nail over here to do things with too, but I just want to, kind of look at it. It's a little bit wide. Ah! Stop that. Get up here. I feel like I want this one to be over here for sure. And then this one, we can probably just incorporate somewhere over here. I'm thinking that's the right move. So we have these other things that we can put over here. I even have these little like wonky hearts, and they have like bits in them. And so like that could be included. They're kind of ghostly and sparkly. So like we could do that. Let's think this through. If we did that, then we could take one of these little roses. That one doesn't show up very well on there, so maybe not that one. Maybe this one. That one shows up quite a bit if we were to like stick it like right there maybe. And then let me open this box. Let's keep that to the side for now because we don't need it. And I'm only going to open a couple of these because we're not going to use the very big ones. Probably just these two smallest ones. Let's see here. Yes. I appreciate you. We got us a little rhinestone picker. So if we do that, then we could hypothetically do like a little rhinestone like this, and then maybe like this a little bit. Because it's not on my hand, I don't want to totally lay it out because it may not fit right. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. I also got some black flowers out, but I'm afraid they might be a little bit big for this vibe. Because, like, I have a tiny pinky. Unless I put it on top, I could put that one on top and do this smaller one on bottom. Good Lord, it's drunk. Like a bit of this type of situation. But I don't like that. I like this one to be kind of tucked in here. And then we can do something around it. So I'm going to say no to that for now. We do have other nails. Let's put these two on first, and then we'll figure out the rest. Because that's kind of how I do it. Just wing it. Hey, Mabel. Welcome. Glad to see ya. You came just in time for the art. We've got the paint on. We got the decals on. Now we're going to start putting on some things, some bits. I just use a raggedy brush for this. This is what happens to my brushes when they're not good enough to do painting anymore. They become applicators. I don't know if this is going to pick this up. I might have to pick it up with the tweezers. Oh. Come on, bro. I have to, this thing I think is too smooth. I have to get a different one out. Oh, I got it. There we go. I'm going to try and get this kind of straight based on the point of it, because that's the only part that is straight. The, the top is wonky. I think that's kind of straight, but I'd like it a little lower, I think. Maybe right there. Yeah. All right. Let me get a little dollop. Dang, I just painted on the top of that. That's okay. Let me clean that off real quick. All right, I'm going to put this in. That's looking good. And then as I go, I just get a big glob on my brush that I'm using as an applicator and go around the edges of everything just to seal it in. It'll dry down like saran wrap as you go, so you can always add more. But this is how I keep them from coming off. Like, you can get a real good secure with this stuff. I don't wear my nails that long, but back when I used to, I would have this on there for a week. Sometimes a little longer, but typically a week is about all I could stand before I wanted to change my nails real bad. All right. That heart is almost invisible. That's okay. So now we got to pick our like rhinestone pattern situation. Maybe the other way. So like maybe if we start with a bigger one here and then kind of do like a half curve here and then start on this side and do it that way. I think that makes a little bit of sense. You like the two flowers in the heart? Those black ones are so big. I feel like I have some smaller ones somewhere, but I couldn't find them. I went through all of my charms. I feel like if it's just too big for this nail. But we have other nails, and we have two more of these little hearts. So let's put some stones. Don't know if I'm ready for the, what did we call them? Studs yet. Hello, person who just came in. I can't read your name. I'm sorry. Let's put some of this on here. Let's just curve it over here. I can add more if I need to. All right, I'm going to swap this picker out because it needs to be rubbed against something rough, and I don't feel like doing it right now. I'll just use this one. You can tell this one I've been using for a while. Oh yeah, that's a nice little sparkle right there. That seems to have gotten bigger because I went the wrong direction. Nice. Wonderful. Idiota. It's going to be a bit of a size down here. See, now, because I did something I didn't intend to, we have to pivot and get creative. So we're going to put some more of this here. We're gonna figure something out. Don't you worry. Don't you worry one little bit. Because this is still a little bit wet, we have time to scooch things around, but not a long time, because it will start to dry. So you also don't have to worry about it just like sliding away while you're still trying to work. That's one of the things that irritates me about gel and rhinestones is I'm still trying to get them put on there and they're sliding away, and I'm like, hey, stop that. Okay, we're going to put a couple more little bitty ones up in here. Okay. That's definitely plenty for up there. So now I just need to do something complementary that goes like this way here. Oh, I gotta straighten my fingers out 1 second. Holding them curled up like that makes them achy. I could always flip it around, but then I'm gonna bang my elbow into stuff. That's not fun. Ugh, there we go. All right, let's proceed with my old lady fingers. I'm just gonna put a big one here. Big-ish, like this size. Okay. I think I'm also going to put like a tiny one right here so that it just kind of is more smooth where it curves together. I think that makes sense. Sorry, I don't talk much when I'm concentrating and I'm having to think my way through this. So I think we want to kind of keep that straight trajectory here on the top, but I kind of want to stretch it down a little bit. So dupe and then dupe. I don't know if I should put another tiny one right there. I think we'll wait for now. We'll have a look. So I want to go like that for sure, and like that for sure. It's got space over there, but I don't want to go too far off the edge because then it'll just be on the side. And let's take one of these. I think I am going to have to stick a tiny one over here. Get up there. I wish I had a one size smaller that I could fit there, but that's the smallest one that's in here. Let me think. We're gonna do something. I'm just smoothing this out a little bit. I think I am going to put another small one right here. And then another one here. And then we'll get one that's bigger here. And this one's turned out to be quite a bit more sparkly than I had originally intended, but that's okay. That's okay. This is just what happens. I think that's okay. I'm going to push this up so we can push them a little bit. There we go. I think that's good. I think I'm going to leave that and not get too crazy with it, but I'm going to go around these. And then we'll move to the index finger where we got a little bit more room to work. Ow, straighten the finger out. I'm going to use the bottle brush to do this side, just because I can. There we go. Dang. Ugh, couldn't reach my paper towels underneath my thing. I'm so glad to have that straightened out. We gotta let this one rest a moment. Let me catch up on the chat. Shawnee Mays, hi, welcome. Sandy Darby, hi, how are you? I got you, Jess. You see, it's the same for me. You get to concentrating. Makes it hard to talk. But we're going to give that a moment. Might as well just stick it in here, actually. That'll give me a reason to let my fingers be straight for a moment while we chill. So, next, I definitely want to use this hollow heart. And I want to figure out how to get some more of these roses in. And this nail is bigger, so we can use the black ones. And I have one red that's more solid, and then one that's a bit like speckled, and then I have another tiny one. So we can figure out what to do with those. I don't think we need to do another one of these clear ones right now, maybe on the thumb. And then we have the metal things too. So we got to theorize something, but I'm definitely putting that on first. And we didn't use any of those studs in the pinky. So We may use them, we may not. It just kind of depends. I got them out just in case. Alright, let's pull that out. And that's what we got going over here. So let's see about this guy. So just for the center, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and put us a glob. Because that's where we're going to set that in. I'm going to let that sit for a sec, though, so it can kind of start to dry. I'm looking at it underneath this way. But I don't want to do that very long. Just to see, make sure it's in the center. That'd be cool when we do this. I feel like I need to scoot it down some. I would like it to be just a smidgen lower. Come down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be cool. Gonna drop that in. And I'm going to look at it and scoot it around. I'm trying to hold it as upright as possible so that it doesn't slide, because it's got quite a bit. But I'm also trying to see. So you gotta get it from all these angles. Ew, there's a hair. Oh, good. So I'm gonna do it like this for a sec, but you can see it does hang off a little bit. Once we get it sealed in, that will be totally fine, so it won't be snaggly. Is it straight though? I feel like almost. Does that look straight to you? I feel like it's not entirely. I have crooked fingers, so I don't know what straight is. Does that look straight? I think it does. And I say that, but then I feel like this side's too low. Never plan a set and stick with it. Well, yeah, you know, that's the thing. Sometimes they don't fit exactly the way you imagine them, so you got to pivot, and that's okay. Exactly. I have a selection of crap readily available that I can do stuff with. All right. So let's think here how we want to decorate around this. I'm thinking I kind of want to do something that's perimeter-ish. Maybe, somewhere up around here and then somehow down here. Maybe if we used one of the really small ones down for the bottom somewhere. I don't know about that one, maybe. Well, that's the only small one I got left, so I guess that would be the one I'd have to use, wouldn't it? Ha. Like if we did something like that. Now, goodness. We're just trying to look at it, please. Then we could potentially like put something next to it. My concern is because it's so small, it would be wonky. I don't know. Or we do like an up and down design and save the other one. Let's see. I don't know. It seems weird, like to try and do a cluster somewhere with this in the center. I feel like we need to do an up and down something. Maybe this is where we get creative with stone placement. But I want a flower to be a part of it. I don't know what I'm doing. Definitely on the top. I wonder how we can make this make sense. Just chill out, flower. So, hypothetically, if we put this somewhere, try not to poke it, but like somewhere up here, Then I could, go to the sides and kind of downwards lay a little bit, but it's just strange. It just seems too big. But I need to have these flowers incorporated somehow because they're part of the decals. But I have so much over here because I could do like a cluster. But I mean, I got out a bunch of these. So I want to be able to use them. I think that's going to be better over here for sure. If we put this here, let's see what it would look like if we used one of these. I'm just going to sit it on here, not where there's a thing, but I just want to kind of look. I think that these finishes are complementary together. So I feel like if we used more of these instead of the rhinestones, or like predominantly, we can still use some rhinestones. Maybe that'll tie it together some. You think? I wonder if we can just do like a little bit of a chain situation down here, like poop, 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 like 3 of the beads. And then somehow attach them up here too. So it's like the heart is floating in the middle. Yes, definitely a cluster on the thumb. I don't think a flower would fit in the heart because I only have that one small one and it's not super small. So like, I don't think it would go down in there. Oh goodness, we can. Yeah. It's just barely too big. If I had a smaller one, I had a whole box of these until the other day when I dropped them in the floor. Lost most of them in the carpet. Yeah, I mean, it would have worked. I just wouldn't be able to fit it in there. All right, let's put a black one on. We're going to figure it out. We're going to wing it. Let's put it here. I'm going to try and make this centered visually. So I think that's okay. And if we start with like maybe a couple of bigger ones here and then some smaller ones next to it, we're going to start with 3 sizes because I don't want to put us in a bind. Stay open. I think we're gonna figure something out. Don't worry. It's not gonna be stupid, I don't think. Let's start getting these 2 side ones put on though. Gotta work with your symmetry. Don't do all on one side and then turn out it don't actually fit like that on both sides. All right, let's get these together. I'll put little caviar beads here in these little divots where there's nothing to kind of make it smoother. That's what those are for. Okay. Okay. Now we'll do the next size next to those. I will have to go on the top of these with top coat though, because just like the half pearls, when they rub on things for a while as you're living your life, the color will rub off. And that's annoying. All right, so far that looks straight. I'm going to put smaller ones right there. That's a lot of stuff. Big old dollop. All right, let's grab a couple of these little guys. I should have used a larger size because there's a gap. But that's okay because I'm going to incorporate it into the design. That's how we solve problems. So I'm going to say we're going to start to do a bit of a necklace situation coming here together. You know what I mean? Let's do that. All right, let's make sure they're the same. I'm liking this. With the little perimeter between the flower and the studs, it almost looks like it's its own thing and it's intentional. So that's on purpose now. Okay. We're going to have to do something crafty here because I need to put this one in and then we'll fill in the gap because I'm not sure exactly how much space we're going to have. So let's do that. I think I can fit 2 in here, and I damn sure better can be. Otherwise, we're going to be looking crazy. Come on. All right, let me get those situated. Stop sliding around everywhere. Okay. I think that's looking pretty cool. Now we want to do a downward thing here. Let me clean my little brush off. Now, do we want to do just 3, starting with big, medium, little? Or do we want to do like little, medium, little, so that it, what do you think? Big, medium, little, or like little, medium, little? What do you think? It's looking pretty cool. And then when we get done with all the big stuff, we can just put in some tiny bits of like art around these. Maybe like a little stone and a little stud next to it type things. Just little mini clusters. Maybe. The other day when I did the gold and red ones, I had some of those like metal sequins. I don't think I have them in silver though. I would like to. A couple of little silver hearts. That would be cool. I wonder if that's something I could find. I bet I could. Oh, while we're thinking about it, let me put a couple of these little bitty caviar beads up in those top spots. They need a little something. Wow, I have no idea where that one just went. One of them. Oh, there it is. All right, let's get those tucked in. I picked the darker silver. I figured that would be nicer. There we go. All right, so y'all didn't say nothing. Little, medium little, or big medium little for the bottom bits. And in fact, I can probably put a caviar bead at the bottom of it. The three that go down, should we have a big, medium little, or little, medium little? What do you think? Let me show you the big. I'm starting to lean towards little, medium, little, because like this is the big. It seems kind of huge. You don't think that's too big? I don't know how good of a view you've got, but like that's roughly the size. You think that's good? Not too big? Medium, small caviar bead? Okay, even less. Let's see. I feel like that's more appropriate in size. Let's get one. And then this one. And then come here, little bead. That one I think is just stuck to the thing. There we go. Like that. I think that's good. Because it's a little area. Yeah, let's do that. Sorry if I get off screen while I'm doing this because I can't see. I'm underneath here with it. I had LASIK a few years ago, but only on one eye because only one eye was bad enough to be eligible for correction. But since then, I literally spend probably 90% of my time looking at a screen. I work from home, online. I do social media. I feel like my one eye that didn't get the correction is now starting to suffer the consequences of how much time I spend looking at the screen because I find myself doing a whole lot of squinting these days. And I am absolutely willing to get that one fixed, should it be bad enough to fix. But I'm like, what if it's not? What if it's still not bad enough, but also it's an inconvenience? Then what? What am I supposed to do? Just have one crazy eye? I don't think so. Is that straight? I can't be sure. I think maybe. Is that? Am I overthinking it? It's straight, right? let's put some this stuff around all this. There we go. Get that nice and sealed in. Why is my paper towel in such an awkward location? All right, please. There we go. That's what we got so far. I like it. I think it's looking good. Now we're going to have to use the thumb to tie everything together. All right. So we're definitely doing a cluster. I'm just trying to scoot all this around, see what's going to be the best way to hold my hand. An eye exam? Yeah, I think I'm going to have to. Because I feel like I'm making it worse, surely, with all the squinting. And then I'm like getting all up on this stuff. I'm like, that's probably not good. Somebody else suggested maybe I should get some blue light glasses. I don't know. Maybe. That way when I'm looking at screens, I can wear them. I don't know if they're effective, though. That could just be something we assume. Alright, that's had long enough in there. So here's kind of what we're looking at. We've got all these roses, but we also have this little two-piece metal heart. And I want them to both be on here. Maybe if I put this over like in this region, then I could use these and put the cluster like up here, because like the way my cuticle is shaped, this side comes up a little high. And so I feel like that's probably a good spot to make a cluster, right? Does that make sense to you? I feel like maybe. And so we could just like, flower, and then this flower. And then we could like save this sparkly red one to go somewhere down by those little metal hearts. And we could tuck this little sparkly red one up here with the other guys, and then work in some stones and some brackets. Brackets. Studs. Good Lord. I don't know what those are, obviously. What do you think? Does that sound like a plan? Ooh, be careful. Don't knock this into stuff. I'm just looking at this one again. I'm like, how can we possibly incorporate? I mean, I could probably put some caviar beads in here somewhere too. But I feel like if I start adding things, it's going to get crazy. Let's stop looking at it. How about that? Control yourself. Too much gene is a problem. All right, let's do that. Let's start here. I'm just going to let that sit there, I guess. That feels weird. I don't like it. I'm going to turn it around a little bit. Let's start with that. Put this black one on first. So I have two different black ones here, actually. This one we're putting on has like these shimmery edges, and it's the same as the one we put on the other finger. The other black one that I have is just matte. And so I like that we have a little bit of variety to work in. Okay. I'm liking this, and it's far enough from the edge that I think it won't be too much of a problem. Yeah. Okay. And then I want to do that other red one right here. The reddier of the reds. This little companion flower. Let's tuck him in. I don't know why I am over here gendering these flowers as boys, as if a flower has ever been a boy. All right, like that. And then I want to get the other one in about right here. And then I'll be able to like tuck a couple of little studs or stones or something behind this one so that it's not just like out here. That's how I think I'll make that make sense. Just gotta get our big guys in place first. All right, so that's the foundation of our cluster. And that leaves us two more flowers and these metal hearts. And I think we're gonna be able to get them all to make another little clustery area over here. And so that'll be good. Now, let's do some decorations back here. I want it to come down a little bit. We're definitely gonna stick a rhinestone in here. Get us a little sparkly spot. And then next to that, I'm gonna take a stud of medium size and put it here. And then I'm actually going to take a bigger stone and put it next, because I'm trying to do like almost a line going down the side. And then I wonder if I should, I think I'm going to do one even bigger than that next. This will be the biggest size that we'll use because it's pretty big. But now we'll be able to work back to fill in. So like I'll put another stud in this little gap. I already got one out. And I think we need to take the next size up. Yeah. I think I'm also going to cover the top of these studs as we go because I don't want to cover the top of the stones. So if I try and go back and do it after the fact, I think it's going to make it harder. So let me just do that one while I do that. And then we'll cover this one. All right, now I feel like I want to put a pretty big stud right there. I do have some larger ones. Let me open the next size. It's a thumb. We can use big thingies. Right? That makes sense. Okay. Yes. Very shiny. All right, now I want to stick a little stone in there. Tuck him in. I wonder if I can actually get it all the way up in there. I sure can. That means I can put another one. And put another one right there, but of a medium size. I've got such a puddle of this stuff out because I'm just going and adding more and more to my sheet as it's just drying up faster than I'm using it. Let's see. I want to do a little something over here, but not much. Let's see. I need to add a couple of beads where we've got some space for things that need to have something there. So like here is fine, here is fine. Maybe I should put one there too. And I guess I'll put it here. That makes symmetry. People love symmetry. People like me. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's okay. Maybe we'll do a stud and then a stone. Not too much. And not giant ones either. Let's take this here medium one. I'll just put him up here. I'll cover that. And then let me get a little stone. I think we need one more stone in there because that gap's a little weird. Just right here. A smaller one. Okay. I think that's all right. What do you think? Hi, Preppy. I have so many tips for beginners. What kind of tips are you looking for? Beginnering at what? Nails is a pretty big subject once you get into it. Sneaking suspicion, you're going to end up with a completely stone-covered nail. Well, listen. The too much gene is a real situation, and I'm going to try not to. I'm going to start by putting this metal double heart over here. We're going to do that, like here-ish. Just think of it like camo, but with decorations. That one is a little bit less curvy than my nail. That means we're going to have to make it. Okay, and then here's what I'll do. You just take a big old blob and cover it and fill it in. And that way, those become the edges. Okay. Now, while that's sitting there, we can definitely fit a flower right there. You know, maybe the black one. If I can pick it up, obviously. That's the first problem. Look, I'm just chasing it across the thing. Aha, got it. Yeah, let's stick this guy in right here. I think that fits great. That was part of my master plan all along. Y'all just didn't know. It was a surprise for everyone. Okay, so that looks good there. And we might as well put the red one right here, right? That makes sense. Brands of nail polish. Do you mean nail polish or do you mean gel polish? You like acrylic? Do you know how to do acrylic? Gel. Okay. Because if you do soft gel extensions, pre-made nail tips, this is your easiest way to do it. If you want to use acrylic, you can, but acrylic is advanced level nail. Yeah, let's put the red one on there. That's the enthusiasm. I definitely recommend soft gel. It's easy. Beginners can handle it. It's much faster. E-Nail Couture is my favorite for full cover tips, and they have a lot of shapes and a lot of sizes. So you can pick what's appropriate for your style and expertise. And I have a discount code. It is SECRET25, SECRET 25. So if there's not currently a discount available that's higher, you can use that one. And it's 25% off of everything. But he does have sometimes like holiday related things that are bigger, be like 35% and stuff. So keep an eye out for those. Sometimes they'll be like free shipping, and often you can double code. enailcouture.com. He also makes gel polish, lots of it. Okay, so for this, we just need a little something. I'm thinking maybe we put a little stone here, maybe a little stud here, and then up here, maybe a little stone here. And then we'll evaluate. You're definitely welcome. So let's put our 2 little stones. And these are the smallest stones that I'm taking. We're trying to keep it dainty. Another little one right here. All right, and then let me get the smallest stud. Stick it over here. And I'll cover that one with a little bit of goo. My goo is dry. There we go. Okay. Now we have to decide, is it done? Does it need more? I kind of like it. I don't think it needs more, but let me know what you think. Hi, Kitty. Welcome. Hi, Rosie. Welcome. Oh, Lovely Victoria, I almost missed you. Welcome. You like it? I do too. Yeah, I think we should call it. I'm gonna just reinforce everything. We'll go in here and fill in this gap gently. And then down these edges. I'm still going to top coat this stuff, but I just like to use a lot of this for rhinestones only because it makes it secure. We didn't end up using these other two hearts. That's okay. I can put them back in all of my stuff. Or I can use them for something else, but I'll probably put them back. Let me close these things up. We'll close that. Scoot it all out the way. I'll just move that over there. Okay. I'm just putting all these things away. It's good to clean up as you go. That way you don't have to do it later. I hate that this only fits on one side, but they look exactly the same. There we go. Let's stick this in here. Get everything nice and dry before we go in with our sèche-vive to make it all smooth. Oh, I also forgot we were talking about maybe putting a couple of items on here, but at this point I don't really want to. I'll just put some more top coat, make it shinier. Thank you. We've been in this live stream for an hour and 52 minutes. But there was painting. If you do the painting ahead of time, it takes a little bit less. But really, just placing all this stuff is the most time-consuming part, especially when you don't have it plotted out and you're talking to yourself a lot. But I enjoy this. I like doing my nails, so it doesn't bother me how long it takes. And I'm only doing one hand. This hand, I'm going to record a video after this, and it's going to be completely separate. My hands don't match ever. And then I'll probably, this might be gone at the end of the weekend. I don't know how long this one's going to stay, probably less time. I don't know. Sometimes I change my nails every day, sometimes every couple of days. It just depends on, firstly, how busy am I, and secondly, what do I want to do next and how badly. So we'll see. It is 8:52 p.m. I am in Central Time. And I have so much editing to do. The videos I recorded last week, I didn't get finished editing. And then I recorded one last night when I got home from dinner. And then I'm going to do one after this. I have so much editing, but it's like I make my videos in advance because I'm not available to record on a consistent schedule, so I have to do it when I can. And so I already have most of February's calendar, and then I'm working on March's calendar, but the video I'm doing after this is for February. And then there's another one for February that I don't have the product for yet. Sometimes I move things around. Content creation is a job. Hello, Leo. I don't know what your question says. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see about squeezing a little top coat in around the edges. I'm probably going to have to, I'll put this one on with another brush because I'm like, if I try and go in here, I'm just going to get it everywhere. Let me just get some out. There we go. We'll use this one. there a hair stuck to my other hand somewhere, or am I imagining that? I think I might be imagining it. Okay. Now we'll get this side. That looks good. I'm going to do the same thing, actually, on these other nails with the junk, and then we'll just paint on the flat ones the normal way. Sorry, I can't see the chat. My head's underneath the camera again. All right, now I can get at it. I do want to put some in here and in here. So it's all nice and sealed in. That's great. Let's see what we got here. Thank you, Rosie. Let me get a little more of this out so we can go around them thumb decorations. There we go. I think that's good. Let me clean that brush off, and then we'll just cover over these two decals. Water decals. Oh, for those of you who just got here, these really awesome critters are water decals from Enchanted Goth Decals. Definitely check out her website and her social medias. I love these water decals. I've been using a bunch of them recently in all kinds of designs, but they're really good and they're really cute, and they are unlike most decals that you get, and you can custom order your size by length. So if you have short nails, you get short decals. If you have long nails, you get long decals, but it's the same decal. So you are no longer restricted from decals due to the size. And that's one of my favorite things about that brand. I often struggle to get decals that fit my long nails. These are clip art style, but like they have full cover options. So like instead of paint, you just put one of these on. It's cool. Get out of the way, card. You're interfering with me putting that up. There we go. Hello, Mr. Handsome. I remember you from the other day. I do too, Jess. They're so cute. I think we did an excellent job, and I appreciate you being here and helping me make decisions on where to put some things and what we was going to do with them. They're cute. You know I love junky nails. This is good. I have to get photos after they're dry. Let me stick it back in here. Mr. Handsome, do you like nails or do you like the whole hand? Thanks, Shells. I like them. They're beautiful. On the other hand, they're not going to be as awesome. We definitely did the good hand. The other one, I'm doing some nail stamping. I've got these Valentine's plates. But only a little bit of this is going to be used for stuff that I can't hand paint because I can't hand paint. And then at some point this upcoming week, I'm not doing a video, but I am going to use this plate and do birthday nails because my birthday is very, very soon. So that, I don't know if there will be a short, but there will definitely be photos. I'm glad you did too. I was wondering if anybody would, since it was like very short notice. I don't always know when I'm going to be able to do these because I'm just squeezing it in between my other 7 jobs. Yes, birthday nails. I've never used that plate before either. I got it after my last birthday, so I'm very excited. Though I've done like 5 sets of Capricorn nails so far, but that's not specifically birthday, that's astrology. But I'm trying to wait until it's actually close to my birthday, so maybe I'll have them on. Maybe. Cuticle oil. Let's check them. That feels good. Dry, smooth. Yes. All right, we're ready to oil. Nobody likes dry, crusty finger edges. I like to put it under here too. I feel like it helps not be as crusty under there, but also like sometimes when you're cleaning up, it'll run underneath it and you don't get it out as easily, but when you oil it, I think it helps to peel off the skin easier so that when you wash your hands, it just comes off any that you missed. So that's what I do. Anyway, if you have not had a chance to hit the like button, please do. It does help. The algorithm takes it into consideration. And so the more interaction that a video gets, the more likely it is for YouTube to show it to new people. And then also definitely subscribe if you're not subscribed, and go on over to my channel and look at all the different types of videos I have. I do a lot of different stuff. So chances are there's going to be something over there that you like. And if you like things that are other than nails, check out Megan Makes It, my other channel. There's some cool stuff over there too. It's not long form content. There's only one long form video and it's a review of a hair product. Mostly it's shorts, but it's fun stuff. So thanks guys for coming. I appreciate you. I appreciate you hanging out and helping me make these nails. It's been 2 hours of good fun times. All right, y'all. We will get out of here and we'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.